I get it, you're standing in the aisle of your kitchen ideas, scrolling through endless cooler options, and the biggest fear is dropping hard-earned cash on a unit that looks great on paper but ends up being more of a decorative box than a functional wine haven. You've probably imagined the perfect setup: a sleek double-glass door, quiet operation while you host a dinner, enough space for a decent collection, and maybe even a spot for a few cans of craft beer. The question that keeps you up at night is whether the CaLefort 15-inch dual-zone cooler actually lives up to those expectations without turning your countertop into a cold storage nightmare. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The first thing I dug into was the real-world layout. This unit gives you 6 cubic feet of interior volume, which translates to roughly 28 standard wine bottles in the lower zone and 80,100 typical 12-ounce cans in the upper zone. For a typical home entertainer, that's enough to keep a modest collection of reds and whites chilled while also having a dedicated spot for sodas, mixers, or those occasional craft brews you pull out for game night. The dual-zone design is truly the core benefit. You can set the wine compartment to the classic 55°F range and keep the beverage side a few degrees cooler, which means you're not fighting over temperature settings the way you would with a single-zone fridge. In a kitchen where space is at a premium, the ability to stack both wine and cans in one footprint saves you the headache of hunting for a second small fridge. Who should consider this model? If you're a casual wine lover who enjoys having a handful of bottles on hand, and you also like the convenience of a small bar setup for non-wine drinks, the CaLefort's capacity hits a sweet spot. It's especially handy for apartments or smaller homes where a full-size wine cellar is out of the question, but you still want that professional-look double-glass door that keeps UV light out of your bottles. The stainless steel finish and 3-color LED lighting add a touch of ambience that works well on a kitchen island or a dining room sideboard. On the other hand, if you're a serious collector with a cellar-sized inventory, or if you need precise temperature zones for high-end reds that require 45°F or lower, you'll quickly feel cramped. Likewise, anyone looking for a heavy-duty commercial-grade unit to stock a bar and a restaurant should look elsewhere. The 15-inch footprint simply isn't built for that volume. The strengths of this cooler are pretty straightforward once you start using it. First, the compressor-based cooling system feels solid and, as the spec sheet notes, it's designed to stay super quiet. In my test run, the unit was barely audible over a conversation, which is a big win for open-plan living spaces where a humming fridge can become a nuisance. The double-glazed door does more than look sleek, it actually reduces temperature fluctuation when you open it, meaning your wine stays at the right temperature longer. I also appreciated the reversible door hinge, which lets you install the unit left-hand or right-hand opening, a small detail that can make a big difference in tight kitchens. The built-in LED lighting is adjustable among 3 colors, so you can match it to your decor or set a subtle glow for a dinner party without it being blinding. There are a few practical trade-offs that deserve a mention. The interior shelving is fixed, so while you can fit standard bottles, oversized or oddly shaped bottles will be a squeeze, and the upper can rack is a simple wire grid that doesn't hold larger 16-ounce cans or bottles securely if you tip the unit. The temperature dial is a basic analog knob, which lacks the precision of digital thermostats, so you'll need to give it a few hours to settle after each adjustment, especially if you switch the wine zone from 55°F down to 45°F for a special vintage. Lastly, while the 12-month product support is reassuring, the warranty period is shorter than some competing brands that offer 2-year coverage, so you're taking a slightly bigger risk if you anticipate heavy daily use. Those are the kinds of details that often get glossed over in marketing copy but matter when you're living with the unit day after day. All things considered, the CaLefort 15-inch dual-zone cooler is a solid middle-ground solution for homeowners who want a tidy, quiet, and visually appealing way to keep a modest wine collection and a decent stash of drinks chilled, without committing to a full cellar or a bulky second fridge. If your needs line up with the capacity, you'll likely feel the value outweighs the modest limitations. If you're on the fence because you need more flexibility or a longer warranty, it might be worth stretching a bit further in your research. Either way, make sure you check the exact dimensions and door swing direction before you buy, because a misfit can become an expensive regret. Link is in the description if you want to see the latest price and ordering options.